Welcome back to An Honest Sound. It's been a while since I recorded a video, and I'm really excited to get things moving a little bit more so, and showing me play a couple things and give you a little bit more of a view of what it's like, from my perspective of my gear and what I like to use. And today we're going to talk about swells, and I feel like nowadays swells is a really big thing in worship. Whether we're just laying a pad in the background, we're coming into a guitar solo or a bridge, and you want to have that sweet, lush sound of a swell coming in to bring in, a different dynamic, from the guitar's point of view. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at two different types of swells. I know a lot of us don't have all the gear and everything that we hear, within some of our favorite worship bands' albums. But today we're gonna take it from a basic point of view. We're gonna try out one with just an overdrive, delay, and maybe a little bit of reverb. And then we'll introduce a more aggressive swell, kicking up our reverb and delays, and then introducing a micropog octave generator to give it a little bit more of that shimmery type feel. I would recommend getting a volume pedal. You can find them used for cheap. You can maybe find one for $40-50 online or at your local guitar shop. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with a bit of a transparent overdrive. You can do clean. Here's my clean channel. And here's with my drive. The drive really helps push the swells over a little bit more. Even when you're still light, you can still have a little bit more of a bite when it comes to your swells. So right now we're just going to switch on the reverb and the delay. I'm using a Giga Delay 20, DD20, and a TC Electronic Hall of Fame. And on the Hall of Fame, I have it on church setting right now, but I'm going to bring it back just a little bit, maybe to like about 1 or 2 o'clock. And the delay, your delays are really going to push your sound out. It's what's going to carry your sound out. It will repeat itself over and over until your trail runs out, or however long you set your trail. So right now I'm going to have my effect level set at about 2-3 o'clock. We'll play with that and see how that sounds. It also really helps if you have a tap tempo as well. So right now we'll just set it to something really long so our trails will, ring out. Just turn on the delay, Hall of Fame. Let's bring back our volume pedal. And I'm just going to play G, C, maybe E minor and a D. Because the video is right here by my guitar, you can probably hear my guitar strumming a little bit before the swells, but imagine that, when you're playing live, you can't really hear the swells during that part, or you can't really hear the guitar strumming at that minute. So what I have the DD20 set at is tape. I mostly often use tape, but just for the sake of it, let's try modulate. Let's bring up the effect level just a little bit more. You can hear the kind of chorusy effect on the delay. That's kind of not where I would like for it to be, but just for the sake of you hearing it, we'll move on from there. So now let's try with the transparent overdrive, but then kick up the effect level on both the reverb and the delay. Let's bring up the reverb to about 4 or 5 o'clock, and the delay the same, or on the same. And let's move back to tape to get that, tiny shimmer trail at the end. So here is another G. thing you're going to want to note, after you do your swell, hold onto your chord until you bring your volume pedal back. So, for example, here's another G. And I'm still holding on to the G. So I'll bring the volume pedal back, and then I'll go to a D. So what you're doing is you're taking out the initial attack of your strumming on your guitar and just letting the sound ring out through your effects to help carry that into your swell. So now let's get a little bit more aggressive. Let's kick up the both delay and reverb all the way. I'm still on the church setting and I am still on the tape setting. I'll probably kick up the decay just a little bit as well on the reverb. And let's give that a try. Alright, now we're going to toss in the micropod, which is an octave generator. Right now I'm using the micropod. It's a smaller version of, Electro-Harmonix Pog. So let's go ahead and kick that on. I have my dry set at around 2 o'clock, octave up at around 2 o'clock, and I have my sub octave all the way. It really helps push the low end and the vibe and the dynamic of your swell when you bring that in. So let's go ahead and turn that on. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to kick on the micropod and see how that changes things up a little bit. You're going to hear a little bit more of a shimmer and the organ sound on the trails coming in straight off from the swell. Another thing you can do in the middle of your swell is just to give your single note a little bit of change, a little dynamic, is maybe do like a hammer-on, or for example, I'll play a D and then I'll add a C sus, a quick, small C sus swell in there to give the single note a little bit of change. So here's the D. So you heard that D coming in there, the D sus that is, coming in between the D to change things up a little bit. And if you would like, you can also add, a dirtier drive just to give it a little bit more, depending on how your song is going and how it's flowing, you can really add something to really, make it a little bit more gritty. So what we'll do is we'll kick on the OCD. And I'll play just towards the high end, so the low end won't really be drowned out by the distortion. And that's coming from something that just sounds straight up like. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I really hope this was of some use to you. Let me know what you want to see differently, if you want to see things changed. Let me know if you like the video. Any support will be much appreciated. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at An Honest Sound. Follow me at Twitter at An Honest Sound. Don't forget to visit the website at www.anhonestsound.wordpress.com. And let me know what you guys think of An Honest Sound. What are some things that you may want to see happen? What are some things that you would like to see demonstrated to help you out, within your worship team or your guitar playing? So once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.